I want to talk to you guys about how I gave up on my dream more than most people start. That's a fun title. That's a good one. Guys, if you're new to these videos, I am doing basically 30 lessons in 30 days, all kind of revolving around, pursuing your dreams and specifically like filmmaking and videography. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, you guys want to follow along, consider subscribing. But I gave up on my dreams more times than people chase theirs. And this idea came to my mind because it's a little bit of an over-embellishment, but I thought it was a little clickbaity, and I liked it. But the idea of what I was kind of thinking going down this road was, I've been doing wedding videography and photography for maybe 5 years in October of this year, October 2025. Yeah, that's nuts. And it's been a very fun journey. It's been very, very, very tough, but it's been very rewarding as well. But there have been so many times throughout the past 5-ish years that I've just wanted to quit and I just wanted to give up. And those were some of the hardest moments. And some of them were due to just having really terrible clients. Some of them were due to, maybe not making the amount of money I wanted to make. Sometimes it was due to, just kind of feeling burnt out with filming weddings, because especially American weddings, everyone does something unique and every couple is unique. And I love the work that I do, but the structure of the weddings in the United States is very, very consistent. For them, it's always getting ready. I could recite it from the back of my hand, back of my brain. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's very similar structures. It's getting ready process, ceremony, reception, and then in between you either do a first look, you don't do a first look, and then when you get to the reception, it's grand entrances. It's either a first dance or you go straight into dinner. Then there's cake cutting, first dance or toast, first dances, open dancing. It's kind of the same structure for the most part. And so, over the course of the last 5 years, there have been a lot of moments where I'm just I just don't know if either I'm not cut out for this, or I just don't know if this is something I want to do anymore, or man, I just think back in moments where, I don't normally cry ever, but I was in Mississippi and I was talking to my wife about how this client just made me feel like I wasn't good at what at my job. I wasn't a good human being. I wasn't a good business owner. I wasn't a good videographer. And there were moments where I just wanted to throw in the towel and quit. There were moments where, I felt like I wasn't making enough money. And so I was I'm going to go get another job. When I first got started, I was I just don't know if we're going to make it this year. I just don't know if I have what it takes to be cut out for this. And so I went and got a job at Amazon, and I made it 4 days working that job. And then I quit because when I was driving down the street in my Amazon van, I had a car of a guy who I think was tweaking out. Side story. And he pulled up to me and he was threatening me and telling me to pull over, and he was chasing me down in his car, and then he pulled off to the side and he was going to ram me. And then I just was you know what, this isn't my van. So I skirt and I was going to try and ram him off into the ditch. And eventually he backed off. And literally that day I was I called the guy and I was hey, I called my headquarters person. I was this guy just tried running me off the road. What do I do? And they're just finish your route, come back, and then we can start again tomorrow. And I was no, that's not going to happen. So I literally left my post, drove back to the Amazon fulfillment center, dropped off my keys and said, hey, listen, I'm not coming back tomorrow. And he's you're quitting? I was yeah, I don't think this is a good fit for me. I left, never showed up again. And I just was you know what? I'm going to go all in on this wedding thing. I'm going to go all in on this wedding business. And it worked out. We ended up doubling our revenue from the first year, and that was our second year. And it was awesome. But the trials didn't stop there just because I was I'm not going to work this job. Like I said, there were clients that made me feel like I was a failure. There were moments where, we were taking a loss in the business because I was trying to bring on contractors and employees, and I was I just don't know if I'm cut out for this. And I would eventually go to partner on another business and just was getting overwhelmed. I wasn't spending time with my wife, and there were just so many moments that I was I'm just done. And I was thinking about that, and I was how cool is that that in the human experience, we get to experience like those types of emotions. And it was like both rewarding to feel that and also kind of depressing, because I also thought about, my friends or my family or just people who are out in the world who they lay on their couch or they lay on their bed or they sit at their job or at their desk or they're doing concrete work and they're thinking about all the other places they would want to be other than where they're at. And a lot of the times that's where we need to push ourselves, right? And most people, like, they never take action on the thing that they want to do because they're just scared of like what could happen, rather than not, like, nothing's even happened yet. They're just scared of what might possibly happen that hasn't happened. And I just thought, it was like, I'm so blessed and so grateful that something within my being or the external factors or whatever it was that made me decide to then take that leap and pursue this business of wedding videography. In that moment, I was like, how amazing is it that I got to do that? And I just thought it'd be cool to like share that little snippet of my life and just obviously be a little bit vulnerable in the aspect of like, guys, like if you're scared of, the what ifs of, what could happen or what might happen, I promise you, like, those pains, like, don't even remotely come close to the feeling of just doing the dang thing. Of just pursuing, just starting, getting your first check, buying your first camera, and starting the business that you want to go start. Will it be a multi-million-dollar thing? Who knows? Will it be a multi-six-figure thing? Who knows? Like, you don't know if you don't try. But like, I think you'll have more regret if you just sit and wallow in the what ifs. Even if you start small, just start. And so that was kind of my mindset when I was thinking about like, dude, I've literally given up on this dream that I've had over the course of the 5 years more times than most people even just like get started chasing theirs. And so get started. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Appreciate you guys sticking around, and I will see you in the next one that I drop, which is going to be tomorrow. So, peace out.